Hello, 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 and welcome to another video about Warzone squads and tactics. Today we're talking about positioning. Positioning is super important. If you watch YouTube and Twitch, sometimes you get the idea that it's not so important because you see all the really good players going off on their own, doing their own thing, and they're so good they can just take out whole squads for themselves. But it's not like that for everyone, especially not that for me. So, positioning within the squad is important. Here I'm going to show a few examples of how to do it well, how to do it not so well, and hopefully you learn something. If you like it, please hit like and subscribe, and we'll be doing some more videos later. But for now, let's have a look at the situation. So here we are, we got a UAV before, and we know there is a squad just by this buy ahead of us. So we're going to investigate and try and take them out. Let's see what happens.
Enter ending.
We're inside the zone. Keep your eyes open.
Taking the house to the left side.
Fire.
Target spotted.
And there we have the red smoke of death. Loadout. First tip, if you have a loadout, especially in squads, do not all go to loadout at the same time. Get one or two going, the other two covering it from a different position, because otherwise this is what happens. Now if you look at the positioning of us, I'll just roll it on a little bit. We have the green and yellows have gone into different houses to have a look at the loadout. They have started the firing, so that's where the enemy thinks that we all are. They don't know that I'm on the right behind a tree with a nice little flank, and then we've got another one behind from a different position, and they are all in the same place. So all we need to do is fire in that general direction, and we'll probably hit one of them.
Oh, you got to keep hitting me.
One more down. I'm dead.
Ooh. One guy went in this house over here.
Two dead. Hey, one on loadout. Down on loadout.
One down.
Yeah.
And so if you look at the position here, we've got them surrounded, so even if I couldn't see that last guy before he came across, one of us could, and so he ends up getting down very quickly. They were trapped right in the middle of nowhere with a tiny little wall just covering them from one direction, and they had nowhere to go. As soon as they tried to run away, they don't make it. So point is, don't go to loadout all at the same time. But more than that, don't all bunch up in the same place, because with me and my PKM or someone else, they will just keep shooting and they will get all of you at the same time. So the way we did it, we have one in one house, next in the next house. I'm behind a little wall here, and then another guy flanking from behind. We surrounded them, all angles covered, and they are good as gone. Let's have another look at an example of when we did this. Okay, so here we have another example from the same game. We have picked up a bounty, we've got our loadout, we've got our ghost, and we are going for this bounty, and they are holed up in a house in the middle of nowhere. So very passive team, shall we say, but they got a good position. They've got a nice sight all around. So how are we going to play it? We've all come from the same direction, and let's see what happens.
Going this way.
Gas is moving in. New safe zone
I see
located.
one outside there.
Going this way.
Oh, it's moving back inside zone.
Is there a house there?
We
Oh,
got
there is
that.
a house. Well,
Yeah,
there's like
yeah.
a flash. Crack that nut open. And go left. See if I can get
I got a position.
into the top window.
Let's just have a look at the position of all of us here. We came from the same place, so we should arrive at the same place, but we've all decided to go slightly further apart. Now the position is important. You want to be close enough so that you can cover each other. So you can get slightly different angles, but you can cover each other, you can come and revive if you get downed. But you don't want to be so close that with their VLK and they're zoomed in and they're looking at you, you don't want them to be able to see the other guy. So you want to be slightly further apart. Also, that means you get different angles So if you can see the guy in that window, then the other guy might not be able to, or vice versa, and then you can more easily get the kills.
They shooting you?
Yeah, sneaking.
Top window or ground floor window?
The guy came out the back.
Going this
Guy came out.
So here we have a situation. For some reason, one of their teammates decides to go for a little jog around the back. Is it a problem? No, because I've gone around the back as well. I've got him covered. We've also got green here, also able to cover. I've pointed him out that he's there, and so he's now looking that way. Meanwhile, blue and yellow are slightly separately able to shoot at the window where they're all peeking.
Out the back.
Yeah, one
And
guy-
then unfortunately,
one
the
guy
train
down in
comes
top window.
and gives him a load of cover.
Okay, one on the right there, on train. It's behind
Two guys
now,
down
either
in the top
train or
window,
behind train there.
Guys,
Nice.
two guys down in the top window.
Here,
Mark the target.
Yeah.
it's one shot there. One shot.
So he's
Yeah.
got
My line
a
mark.
lot of shots on him. He's gonna go and hide and play it up, and that means I can come around
As well.
and get the down.
Get him there.
Yeah.
But look at the position again. I've gone around to finish this guy. We know there's one guy there, and then look, the other house where everyone else is surrounded. And coming up is another good reason why you should not all stay in the same place.
Finished.
Bounty
Oh,
target.
triple kill.
Nice.
Nice.
Wow. They were all in the same corner. Oh, that's a bad play.
The guy jumped out backwards.
There's another munitions box here.
And so there you go. They're all in the same corner. And so when the explosives came, they all died at the same time. Don't be in the same place. But I hope you understood the position there. We were close enough to cover each other. There's some nice shots off, and then I managed to get the finish. And then nice round in the house. And yeah, luckily they all just stayed in the same place, so we could finish off the last three nice and easily. Now, here's an example of what when I went a bit too far in the flanking, and we'll see what happens. Here's an example where it didn't quite work out as planned. Like I said before, the idea is to be separate, so when they're looking down the VLK sight, which almost everyone has, or the sniper, they can see one of you, but not the other three. That's a nice separation. It means you can get the angles, but you also want to be close enough so that you can protect each other, and you can come and revive each other if need be. Here, didn't quite work out, but I'll show you why.
We can
So.
do a flag.
We've seen people fighting on green.
Yeah.
So, what are we going to do? Of course, we're going to go
Yeah, I see.
and try and third party them.
Contact.
Well, push left
One
side.
closer here as well.
Relocate.
I'm moving left there.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Contact.
you hear that?
Spotted.
I'm moving left, I'm moving right.
Evaded the enemy
We've got a
train.
nice little flank going.
To the next area and secure the perimeter.
I've got a nice position, but I can't quite get the perfect angle on where they are. So let's have a look. The other three are fairly close together, maybe green and yellow too close together, but they're in a nice little row to get it. I've gone for a major flank because I couldn't quite get the angle that I wanted, so I kept having to go further right and right and right. And then this is what happens.
Down.
Oh shit! There's a whole team there. Ah!
Dead.
They didn't see me.
One here.
Next to me.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm moving.
Running myself race.
One
On
broken.
the
One
right,
left.
on the right. Further right on the trucks.
Oh jeez. Right next to me. Literally right next to me. Oh,
And
where did they
that's what
come from?
happens. Another squad comes along,
Tracking where?
and I've got absolutely no chance
All right.
whatsoever.
Shit, just
Shit indeed. So, an example where I just went too far away from my teammates, and they couldn't cover me, they couldn't even see me, and got caught up by another team. So, a few examples of where we did good, where we did bad. Hope you learned something. You want to get that distance correct, so then you can't just shoot, and then you vaguely aim in the right direction and you're going to hit all four people. That's not what you do. some nice positioning, so you can get some nice flanks, but still be protecting each other. That is the way to go. Thanks for watching. Hope you've learned something. Hope it's been useful / entertaining, or whatever you want to take from it. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.